The Grand Hall of Unity was glowing with lights from 100 alien systems. Tall columns stretched high into the sky, made of crystal that shimmered like stars. In the center stood Earth's representative, Ambassador Kieran Vale, calm but alert, facing 12 alien leaders of the Galactic Council. "We accept the Treaty of Galactic Peace," Kieran said, holding out Earth's signed copy. "From this day forward, Earth is your ally." A slow murmur passed through the chamber. Some aliens nodded. Others smiled with sharp teeth and cold eyes. And a few didn't react at all. High Chancellor Valex of the Dravari Empire leaned forward. His skin was gray like metal, and his voice echoed in the hall. "We welcome Earth into our ... collective peace." The way he said it made Kieran uncomfortable. But the council clapped politely. The humans had finally been allowed into the galaxy's powerful inner circle. Earth had won its place, or so it thought. Back on Earth, celebrations lit up every city. Fireworks burst in the sky. News anchors cried tears of joy. People danced in the streets. No one knew that humanity had just made its last peaceful mistake. 3 weeks later, Earth lost contact with Outpost Vesta, a mining station near Saturn's rings. The message came in broken static, filled with panic. "They're inside. We can't breathe." Then Silence. Command assumed it was a system failure. They sent a small crew to investigate. That crew never returned. A week after that, the Mars colonies stopped responding. Earth tried to reach them for hours. No one answered. Satellites showed movement on the surface, not human. Did the Council know about this? General Soraya Hunt asked inside Earth's command core. Her voice was sharp, full of suspicion. "They said nothing," replied Director Chun, head of intelligence. "But we intercepted something strange." She pulled up a recording. An alien transmission caught by one of Earth's deep space scanners. It wasn't meant for humans. Phase 1 complete. Target species isolated. Move to Phase 2. The room went silent. "They lied to us," General Hunt whispered. "They never wanted peace." In the black of space, an unmarked alien ship drifted close to Earth's orbit. Its hull was cloaked, invisible to normal scanners. But inside, dozens of alien operatives watched Earth carefully. They had one task: make sure Earth stayed blind, weak, and silent. But Earth had secrets too. Deep beneath the icy surface of Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, something stirred. A massive door slid open inside a hidden base. Lights flickered on. Across underground chambers filled with silent machines built for war, "Activate Project WRATH," came the order from General Hunt. For years, Earth had suspected betrayal. Quietly, they had built a hidden fleet, massive warships kept far from curious eyes. Cloaked, automated, armed with weapons the galaxy had never seen, Ambassador Kieran stood in a quiet room, watching the news feed from Mars. There was nothing. Now only gray sand and smoking craters. He clenched his jaw. "I should have known," he said softly. His assistant Lila looked at him with wide eyes. "Sir, what are we going to do?" Kieran turned. His face had changed. No more calm. Now only fire. "We're going to show them what Earth really is." Far across the stars, the Council met again, this time in secret. They sat in a dark chamber carved into a dying asteroid. "Has the Earth fallen yet?" one asked. "No," Valex growled. "They resist." "Impossible," said another. "They were unprepared." "Then explain this." Valex slammed the file onto the table. Footage of Earth's warships appearing near Pluto, destroying a secret alien probe in seconds. A low hiss spread through the room. "They were hiding their strength," someone said. "They tricked us," Valex's voice was full of anger. "Then we will burn their world until nothing remains." On Earth, a global message was sent. The president of the Earth Coalition stood before every camera, every screen, every device. "My fellow humans, She began. We have been betrayed. The Galactic Council promised peace. But they planned our end. They have attacked our colonies, killed our people, lied to our faces. The room around her was quiet. Behind the camera, soldiers stood tall in armor never before seen. But Earth is not weak. We are not alone. And we are not afraid. The message ended. But her final words echoed across every continent. Humanity will answer. Project Wrath's fleet began to move. Warships, each the size of cities, floated silently through deep space. Their hulls were black. Their engines glowed blue. Their captains, veterans, warriors, tacticians, had waited years for this moment. Target: alien stations near the Kuiper Belt, Admiral Rhea ordered. No mercy. One by one, alien outposts blinked out of existence. The galaxy didn't understand what was happening. Earth had been seen as slow, peaceful, disorganized. Now they struck like thunder at a Council military base orbiting Denvar 6. A commander watched in horror as red dots appeared on his screen. Unknown ships approaching. He screamed. His officer asked, "From where?" The answer came too late. Massive explosions tore through the station as Earth's ships fired. No warnings. No demands. Just justice. Just war. In Earth's command core, Director Chun smiled faintly. They wanted us weak. They forgot we learned. From every war, General Hunt added, they broke the treaty. They started this. Chiron stood silently beside them, watching the stars on the screen. And now, he said, they will see how it ends. Back in the Council's inner chamber, panic had begun. How did they do this? One alien shouted. They were nothing. Valexa's skin changed color, a sign of fear among the Dravari. They were never nothing, he said. They were waiting. A new report appeared on their table. Earth's Armada was heading toward the Council's own systems, at the edge of known space. Near a quiet red star, a hidden alien base received an alert. A human drone had been detected, one that shouldn't exist. It had recorded everything. Alien troop movements, secret messages, betrayal plans. Inside the drone's core was a single line of text, written in bold white letters, "We trusted you. Now you'll see what that cost." In one final scene, Ambassador Chiron stepped onto the bridge of Earth's flagship, Vindicator 1. He looked out at the stars, then at the alien systems marked red on the screen. "We gave them a chance," he said. "They chose war." His crew nodded. Every one of them had lost someone on Mars, on Vesta, or in the silence between stars. "Then let's answer," he said. And the ship jumped forward into the black, humanity's wrath now unleashed. The stars above Mars were quiet. Too quiet. Lieutenant Carol Lynn stood inside the communications center on Moonbase Alpha, staring at the red planet on her screen. For 3 hours, there had been no signal, no message, no sound. Nothing from Mars. "This doesn't make sense," she muttered. Her supervisor, Commander Blake, walked in with a mug of cold coffee. "Still nothing?" Kara shook her head. "All 6 Mars relay stations have gone dark," Blake frowned. "That's not equipment failure, that's an attack." They stared at each other for a moment. Fear filled the room. Then Kara whispered, the words that no one wanted to say, "It's happening." In Earth's Global Command Center, General Soraya Hunt paced the floor. She was a tall, sharp-eyed woman who had survived 3 wars on Earth. But this was something else. "We've lost Mars, Vesta, and the Titan Watchtower," an officer reported. "It's not a communications error. We ran every check." "How many casualties?" Hunt asked. "We don't know. Possibly ... at all." The silence in the room was heavy. Director Chen from Intelligence stepped forward. She looked pale. "We decoded a new transmission," she said. "It came from the far edge of Neptune's orbit. It was hidden inside a distress call." She handed the tablet to General Hunt. The screen showed a grainy video. A soldier on Mars, covered in blood. speaking through static. If anyone hears this, we were betrayed. The aliens' council forces, they're not allies. They hit us without warning. They're using gas, something that melts the lungs. The video cut out. A single line appeared on the screen. Don't trust the piece. They are coming. Earth's president watched the footage in silence. Around her stood the Security Council, military, scientists, strategists. The air was tense. I want the truth, the president said, her voice cold. Did we prepare for this? General Hunt nodded once. Yes, Madam President. Project Wraith is ready. Our ships are armed, hidden, waiting. The president stared out the window. Then it's time. Far beyond Pluto, in the darkness of the Kuiper Belt, massive shadows began to move. Dozens of enormous ships powered up, their engines humming low. Hidden inside asteroids, inside frozen caves, even buried beneath dwarf planets, Earth's secret fleet had slept for years. Now it awoke. Admiral Rhea, commander of the Armada, stood on the bridge of the Vindicator 1. The ship's walls glowed faint blue. Around her, hundreds of officers took their stations. We've received authorization, her AI assistant said. Stage 1, Defensive Awakening, Rhea nodded. Bring the fleet online. No one speaks of this to civilians. We don't cause panic. Not yet. At the International Science Station orbiting Earth, Dr. Elena Miles adjusted her glasses as she studied the strange virus samples from Mars. They had been smuggled back by a drone. Before all contact was lost. What is it? Her assistant asked. Dr. Miles zoomed in on the screen. It's not a virus, it's a weapon. Designed to attack only humans. Not even animals are affected. Who made it? She didn't answer. She didn't need to. The Council, aboard. A small transport ship drifting near Neptune. A pilot named Jace activated an old distress beacon. He had been running secret supply routes between Earth's hidden bases. But now he had something more dangerous, evidence. His ship's black box held recordings of alien ships firing on Mars. No warnings, no signals. Just explosions. I have to get this home, he said to himself. The world has to see the truth. But just as he turned the ship toward Earth, an alien vessel appeared behind him. They had found him. His ship was fast, but theirs was faster. Lasers struck his engines. Alarms screamed. Smoke filled the cabin. Jace grabbed a data pod from the console and stuffed it into an escape drone. He typed one last message into the system. They started this. Earth must end it. Then he hit launch. The drone shot out into space, small, silent, almost invisible, and vanished into the black. Seconds later, Jace's ship exploded. 2 days later, the drone reached Earth's orbit. Its signal was picked up by one of the WRATH satellites. Inside Command Core, Director Chun opened the pod. The message played in front of the Military Council, President, and top generals. Footage showed the Council's ships destroying human colonies. Footage showed humans running, choking, dying. Footage showed alien commanders laughing. Then the final message. This is not war. This is extermination. Show them what Earth really is. The president stood slowly. Prepare the world, she said. No more lies, no more waiting. Back on the Council's homeworld, the alien leaders met again. The humans know, Valex hissed. They're waking up, said another. Their Armada is real. It's not a myth. They should never have been allowed to grow, a council member spat. We should have ended them when they were still bound to one planet. But now, Valex growled. Now we burn them from the stars. Earth's skies changed. Civilians began to notice strange things, massive shapes behind clouds, ocean storms without warning, and distant flashes of light at night. Then one day, all screens across Earth went black. Then a face appeared. The president. She looked straight into every camera. My fellow humans, we've been attacked. Gasps spread through homes, schools, stations. The council lied. They murdered our colonies. They planned our extinction. People stared in shock and fear. But we are not gone. We are not broken. We are Earth, and now we rise. Inside the Vindicator 1, Admiral Rhea gave the final order. All systems go. Engines lit. Weapons charged. The fleet began to move. In space, where stars burn cold and the void is endless, something stirred. Not noise, not light, but power. And behind that power was anger. Humanity had been silent. Now they would speak. In fire. Space beyond Neptune was cold, dark, and silent. Nothing moved there. Or so everyone believed. But deep inside the frozen shadows, behind dust clouds and broken asteroids, something massive was waking up. It had no name on public maps. The galaxy didn't know it existed. Even most humans didn't know. But this hidden graveyard of ice held Earth's deadliest secret. Project Wrath. Admiral Rhea stood inside the command tower of the Vindicator 1, her hands behind her back, eyes locked on the black void outside the window. Status report. She said calmly. Her second in command, Captain Amir, nodded. Power levels stable. All fleet systems green. Weapon cores are heating. Stealth protocols? She asked, still in place. No alien scan can find us unless they enter visual range. Rhea gave a small smile. Good. Let them believe we're still weak. The room around them hummed with life. Dozens of officers moved between glowing consoles. Holographic maps lit. The walls showing the entire solar system. But in this hidden sector, only red ships blinked. Human ships. They weren't just warships. They were monsters. Black steel. No names, no lights. Built for one purpose, vengeance. On Earth, General Soraya Hunt stood in a private chamber, watching a live feed from the Kuiper Belt. The Vindicator 1 had come online. That meant the entire hidden Armada, over 200 warships, was ready. A soft knock at the door pulled her attention. It was Director Chen. They've seen our fleet, Chen said. The council knows now. Hunt didn't flinch. Let them. Chen stepped forward. We picked up transmissions. Some council members are panicking. Others think it's a bluff. General Hunt looked her in the eye. They've made a mistake. Back in space, engineers worked inside the Harbinger, one of Earth's heaviest dreadnoughts. Its gravity warheads could erase entire cities. Its hull could take 5 direct plasma hits. But it wasn't the firepower that made it dangerous. It was the silence. Everything was shielded, radio silent, emissions sealed. It was a ghost in the stars. Technician Ravi Torres checked one last weapon control. All ready, he whispered. His partner looked at him. Do you think we'll win? Ravi stared at the glowing red barrel of the cannon. We're not here to win, he said. We're here to make sure they never try this again. Aboard the Vindicator, a message arrived. It was from Earth's president. Rhea played the message out loud. You were built in secret, hidden for years. People said we wasted time, money, dreams. But now they understand why. You are the wrath of Earth. You are the line between survival and extinction. Rhea stood taller. Strike fast. Strike hard. Make sure they remember. Meanwhile, in the Alien Council's war chamber, fear was spreading. Council leader Velex slammed his fist on the table. They built a fleet in our shadow, he shouted. How did they hide it? A Larnaxi delegate hissed. We underestimated their unity. The humans are like fire, muttered another. Quiet in the beginning, then sudden, wild, consuming everything. We must strike first, Velex ordered. Now, before they move. But it was already too late. Back at Moonbase Alpha, Communications Officer Kara Lynn was reading through encoded fleet logs. Her eyes widened. Sir, she called out to Commander Blake. We have movement, he rushed over. What kind? Kara pointed at the screen. All 217 warships are active. They're forming formations. Battle ready. Blake exhaled slowly. It's real, he whispered. They're not hiding anymore. On the Vindicator, Rhea stood before her bridge crew. We don't attack Earth's enemies blindly, she said. We strike with purpose, precision. We make sure no colony, no child, no future has to fear again. A young officer raised his hand. Admiral, will we go to their homeworlds? Rhea paused. Then nodded. If we don't end the threat at its roots, we will always be waiting for the next betrayal. In the heart of the Armada, the Oblivion Core, Earth's AI command vessel, activated its central brain. Lights flickered. Circuits sang. A voice spoke from the darkness. Wrath confirmed. Mission status, active. Across the void, thousands of machines came alive. Drone carriers, stealth ships, gravity-bending interceptors, all linked, all ready. But then, something unexpected happened. A signal broke through the deep. Space static. It wasn't human. It wasn't council. It was from a third source. Unknown, ancient. The voice was low, glitching, slow. Almost warning them. They fear you. But you must fear what sleeps beyond them. The bridge went silent. Captain Amir leaned closer. What the hell was that? Rhea stared into the stars. Something watching, waiting. Even so, the fleet moved. Across the Kuiper Belt, across black ice and cold rock, Earth's Armada began its long journey toward the first alien targets. They had no banners. They made no sound. But as they passed the sun, every satellite and sensor blinked red. One word appeared over and over again. Humanity is coming. On Earth, civilians began to feel it too. Not fear, but something deeper. Hope. After the silence, after the lies, humanity had finally stood up. Far away, inside a council outpost near the star system Kranos, an alien guard noticed something odd on his scanner. No ships incoming, his commander said, but the guard didn't answer. He stared in horror as dozens of red dots appeared out of nowhere. No warning. No sound. Just fire. Back on the Vindicator, Admiral Rhea gave the order. Begin Phase 1, preemptive elimination. The stars flashed red. And Earth's hidden power, once a secret, became the galaxy's loudest voice. Ander Prime was a proud world. Its skies were filled with floating cities, silver towers, and glowing highways that connected mountaintops. Alien races lived there peacefully. Dravari, Yuldan, and Varnax. It was one of the Council's key planets, a center of trade, culture, and military command. No one believed it could ever fall. That belief ended at 3:14. Galactic time. Commander Telvek of the Dravari fleet stood on the balcony of the Eastern Sky Station. He looked out over the great blue clouds and smiled. The humans are slow, he said to his aide. They may shout, but they won't bite. His aide chuckled. They lost Mars. Their moon bases are empty. They're afraid. Telvek nodded. They should be. But then an alarm screamed through the station. Warning. Unidentified warp signatures detected. Telvek turned sharply. Check the sensors. The V. Aide's fingers flew over the controls. His face went pale. Sir, there are ships incoming. A lot of them. They came out of the void straight through the black edge of space. Whose ships? Telvek demanded. The screen flickered. Red shapes appeared, massive, silent, sharp-edged. The aide whispered. Human. Above Ander Prime, the clouds opened. The Vindicator 1 arrived first, cutting across the atmosphere like a blade of fire. Behind it came hundreds of warships, black, fast, quiet. They made no sound as they descended. Inside one of the warships, Admiral Rhea stood tall on the command bridge. Target confirmation? She asked. Confirmed, said Captain Amir. Military depots, shipyards, command towers. Civilian zones. Locked out of our strike zones. Rhea nodded. Send the warning. A single signal shot through the stars. This is Admiral Rhea of Earth. Your council betrayed us. Your war begins now. In Ander Prime's capital city, panic exploded. Sirens wailed. Citizens ran. Alien soldiers rushed to the skies. Tuvok scrambled into his fighter ship, shouting into the radio, "Raise the planetary shields." Too late. Vindicator 1 launched its first salvo 12 plasma lances. They burned through the sky like red lightning. One struck a military tower. Another hit an orbital gun. The Council's defense stations exploded like candles in a storm. Human warships dove toward the lower atmosphere. Drones flooded out from their bellies, thousands, armed with precision missiles and scanning pods. The Council's ships tried to fight back, but Earth's technology was faster. Smarter. Brutal. One alien cruiser turned to flee only to be caught in a gravity trap. It collapsed into itself, crushed to dust. Commander Telvac's screen showed flames across the city. "This can't be happening," he shouted. "It's Ander Prime." But the humans weren't slowing down. Inside a control room deep underground, a young Dravari officer sent a private message coded, hidden toward the stars. The message read, "Earth was right. The Council lied. We must switch sides." He hit send just as the roof above him collapsed. Back on Earth, the President watched a secure feed from the Vindicator. Cities burned. Alien fleets fell. The first strike had begun, but something else appeared. On the screen, an unexpected signal from Ander Prime, not a threat. Not a scream. It was a request. "Humans," the alien voice said. "We want to talk." In the command room aboard Vindicator, Admiral Rhea studied the feed. "They're asking for negotiations," said Captain Amir. Rhea's eyes stayed locked on the firestorm below. "They had that chance. Are we going too far?" Amir asked. Softly, Rhea didn't answer right away. She turned to her officers. "Have we hit any civilian targets?" "No, Admiral," one replied. "All confirmed strikes are military only." Rhea nodded. "Then no, we're not going too far. We're going just far enough." Down on the planet, a final explosion shattered the Grand Defense Hub. That was the heart of Ander Prime's command network. Without it, the planet was defanged. The Council's banners fell from towers, burnt and torn. And over it all, human ships circled, silent but terrifying. After 12 hours, Earth's fleet began to withdraw. They left Ander Prime burning but still alive. A message was left behind, playing on repeat. This was not revenge. This was warning. You destroyed our homes. Next time we will destroy yours. Back in the Council chamber, chaos erupted. "This is war." One alien shouted, "They're too strong. Where did they get this power?" Valex slammed his claw on the table. "They built it under our noses. And now we bleed." He pointed to the hologram of Ander Prime's fire-covered skyline. "This is only the beginning." Inside Earth's command core, Director Chun looked over the latest battle report. "No losses," she said. "Flawless strike." General Hunt nodded. "Now they know we're serious." Ambassador Karen Vale entered, holding a small data chip. "They know," he said. "And they're afraid." The last image from Ander Prime came from a civilian broadcast, shaky, recorded through a broken window. It showed a human warship, glowing with red engines, hovering above the city. Behind it, the sky burned orange. Child's voice in the background whispered, "The humans. They're gods of fire." The Galactic Council's capital world, Zarnath, was a shining jewel of crystal towers and silver roads. It was where the rulers of 12 alien species met. They believed their power was absolute. They believed Earth was weak. They were wrong. In the Council's great hall, chaos broke out. Leader Valek stood before the crowd, his metal skin glowing bright red with anger. "They dare strike our worlds," he shouted. "They defy the Council." A murmur ran through the assembly. "Delegate Lerna of the Yuldan species raised her voice. We have been blind to their strength. We must act, not with fear, but with force. But Counselor Turan of the Varnak species shook his head. Their strikes were precise, too precise. This is no accident. They have grown dangerous. On Earth, President Alina stood before millions across the globe. Her face was calm but strong. We tried peace. They lied. They betrayed us. They attacked our colonies without warning, she said. Her voice echoed through every city, every station, every home. But Earth is not afraid. She paused. We demand justice. Back in Zarnath, the council debated furiously. We cannot let Earth control us, yelled a delegate. They threaten our authority, another said. Valek slammed his fist again. Then we destroy their fleet. We crush their spirit. Suddenly, a messenger rushed in. Council leader, a human fleet has appeared outside our capital system. 3 planets under our control are already disabled. Gasps. Valek's eyes narrowed. Impossible. In the depths of space, Earth's Armada moved like a storm. The Vindicator 1 led the charge, its weapons ready. Admiral Ria's voice was calm over the comms. Targets locked. Begin operations. One by one, the Council's planets flickered and went dark. Alien commanders scrambled to respond, but found themselves outmatched. On the bridge of the Vindicator, Kyron Vale stood beside Ria. We gave them a chance to stop this, he said. Ria nodded. They chose war. Kyron looked at the star map. Now they will face justice. But the Council was fracturing. Some alien species sent secret messages. To Earth, we were forced to betray you, one message said. Help us fight the Council. Others prepared for rebellion. The unity of the Council was breaking. In a quiet chamber, Director Chen watched these transmissions. They're crumbling, she said. General Hunt smiled. The stronger the enemy, the greater their cracks. Kyron added, it's time to reshape the galaxy. Back on Earth, celebrations were mixed with tense preparation. The galaxy had changed forever. The Council no longer ruled without question. And humanity was no longer a secret. They were a force to be reckoned with. In the final moments of the day, a broadcast from the Council played across Earth. Valek's voice echoed through the stars. You will regret this, humanity. But Earth's reply was clear, firm, and loud. Justice will be served. Stars glowed cold in the distance, but across 6 star systems, a new fire was burning. A fire born from Earth's fury. Admiral Ria stood on the bridge of the Vindicator 1. Her voice was steady, her eyes fierce. Prepare for jump. Blitzwave begins now. On the command deck, Captain Amir checked his screens. 6 enemy star systems locked, he said. All defenses are scrambling. Ria nodded. Good. Strike fast. Strike hard. No mercy. In the first system, the human fleet appeared like a ghost. Silent and deadly, alien patrol ships barely saw them. Before they exploded in fire, ground control centers burned. Ships were destroyed before they could call for help. At an alien capital, Commander Jorek shouted orders. Alert all fleets. The humans are here. But his words were swallowed by explosions. Alien civilians fled in panic. No one knew how fast the humans moved. On Earth, President Alina watched the attacks live. They call it the Wrath Wave, she said. General Hunt smiled. A perfect name. Drone swarms filled space, guided by Earth's AI. Missiles hit with deadly precision. Alien fleets were shredded in moments. But the humans were not just fighting with fire. They used trickery. Holograms confused alien sensors. Decoys led enemies into traps. Deep in an alien war room, a young officer whispered to a friend. They never expected this. Earth was patient. Now they are unstoppable. In space, Earth's fleet kept moving, conquering system after system. Every victory sent a message. Humanity was no longer to be underestimated. Back on the Vindicator 1, Rhea looked at the map. 6 systems gone in 8 days, she said. Captain. Amir grinned. And we're just getting started. In a dark council chamber, fear spread. They are destroying us, Valex admitted. They will burn the galaxy. On Earth, preparations began for the next wave. But one question hung in the air. What would happen if the council fought back harder? The war was far from over, but the fire across the stars had only just begun. The stars were quiet again, but only for a moment. After the human blitz crushed 6 council systems, Admiral Rhea gave her fleet a simple command: hold position. But that didn't mean they stopped. Now they had a new target. A hidden one, something the council never wanted anyone to find. Back on Earth, inside the intelligence core, Director Chun stared at a decrypted file. Lines of alien code filled the screen. It's a location, she whispered. General Hunt leaned in. Where? Chun typed quickly. A hologram appeared, a small, dead star system. No colonies, no life, but in the center, orbiting a black moon, was a strange signal. Not a weapon, not a base. A vault. President. Elena stood in silence after hearing the report. So this vault, what's inside? She asked. Chun looked at her. We don't. No, the council erased all records. Elena's voice dropped to a whisper. Then we find out. Vindicator 1 jumped into the forgotten star system. The black moon loomed large on the screen. No light, no sound, only a structure on the surface, sharp, ancient, buried halfway in the rock. Admiral Rhea gave the order. Land a recon team. Go silent. Captain Amir led the team. They touched down on the moon's surface. Dust rose beneath their boots. No atmosphere. No heat. But there's power underground, he said. A door stood before them, tall, covered in alien symbols. This isn't Dravari tech, whispered a soldier. No, Amir said. It's older. The team entered the vault. Long, dark halls stretched ahead. Strange lights blinked on as they passed. Walls were covered in carvings, figures of beings not in any known council species. Huge creatures, with human-like eyes. At the center of the vault, they found it, a sphere, floating, glowing faint blue. An eye on Amir's wrist buzzed. Warning, Forbidden's council intelligence detected. Amir tapped the com. Admiral Rhea, we found something. It's not a weapon. It's data. Back on the Vindicator, the files were uploaded. Director Chun accessed them remotely from Earth, and what she saw made her freeze. Admiral, she said, her voice shaking. This vault holds records from 80,000 years ago. Rhea frowned. What kind of records? Chun looked up. About Earth. The room went silent. What do you mean? Rhea asked. Chun replied. Earth was not supposed to evolve. The files showed it all. Thousands of years ago, Earth was marked as a closed experiment by an ancient race known as the Forerunners, a species long gone. They designed Earth, planted early human DNA, locked away the truth. The council had inherited this knowledge, and they agreed to one rule: let humanity grow. But never let them know. When humans discovered spaceflight, the council panicked. They approved the peace treaty, not to welcome Earth, but to control it. To stop it. To delay what the Forerunners warned about in their final message. If humanity awakens fully, the stars will bend or break. Admiral Rhea stared at the data. They feared us before we ever left Earth. Chiron Vale whispered. They knew what we'd become. On Earth, President Elena stood before her council, stunned. We were never weak, she said. Just caged. General Hunt clenched her fists. Now the cage is broken. But deep. In the vault, something else began to glow. Another signal. A new message, not from the council. Not from Earth. But from the Forerunners. It was just 5 words. Old, broken, but clear. You are not yet ready. The stars looked different now. Once, Earth was alone. Weak, ignored, mocked. Now. 6 council worlds burned, 3 were in ruins, and 2 had surrendered, and the rest? They were silent. Terrified. Aboard the Vindicator 1, Admiral Rhea stood. Tall, watching the final battle map. All priority targets disabled, Captain Amir reported. The Council fleet is shattered. She nodded. Then Phase Omega is complete, she said. Wrath is done. The bridge crew stood in silence. For years, Earth had waited, prepared, and hidden. Now the galaxy knew their name. In the Council's main chamber, the walls had cracks, some seats were empty, others were covered in dust and ash. Volx. The Dravari leader stood alone now. His voice shook. We tried to stop them. We failed. A voice replied in the shadows, from a transmission he had hoped would never activate. They are only beginning. Back on Earth, cities filled with cheers. Humans celebrated across the world. Fireworks, music, speeches. President Elena addressed. The people, we struck back, not for power, not for revenge, but because we had no choice. She paused. They feared us for what we could become. Now we rise not to rule, but to survive. In the hidden vault, Earth's top minds studied. The final message from the Forerunners. You are not yet ready. Director Chun sat beside the glowing core. What does it mean? She asked. The eye inside the vault answered. They were afraid not of what you were, but what lies buried deeper within. At the edge of known space, sensors picked up movement. Not Council. Not human. Something else. Ancient. Massive. Silent. On the Vindicator. Admiral Rhea looked at a new signal. Her eyes narrowed. That's not from the Council, she said. No, Amir replied. It's from outside their borders. Something waking up. Karen Vale, Earth's ambassador, reviewed the last decoded message from the Forerunners. It spoke of a warning. Shadow buried long ago. A race that even the Council never knew existed. Species that once ruled before the stars even formed, the architects, and they were stirring. General Hunt gathered Earth's command. We built wrath for the Council, she said. But we may need something bigger. President Elena nodded slowly. Then we start building again, but this time, we prepare for the unknown. One final transmission was sent to all worlds, friend or foe. Humanity does not seek to conquer, but we will not kneel. The stars tried to burn us. Now we burn brighter. In the quiet darkness beyond the galaxy, something watched. It had no name. No shape. Only purpose. They have awakened. Begin the next phase. The war was not over. Wrath was complete. But the real fight had only just begun.